I will start this video by introducing you to 3 people. Their profiles will be important later. First person is a businessman who spent the last 2 decades climbing up the ladder of the corporate structure that he's actually stuck in now. He stopped enjoying his job long time ago, but after making a few business attempts on his own and failing, he has no option but to continue with this stressful and life-consuming occupation of his. He has a few personal issues, 2 of which are having very deep-seated anxiety and the inability to firmly stand by any of his decisions, and continuously flip-flopping on every conclusion he comes to. He's been doing this for most of his life, and as a result of it, he cannot build a healthy relationship, and he's been changing partners every few months for more than half of his life. He doesn't know who he is, so he's constantly taking on elements of other people's personalities. He is drinking a lot now. There is nothing he can be grateful for as he leads an existence of quiet desperation. The second person trusted the wrong man as a young girl, and she signed a few documents that turned out to be a huge problem, and now she owes millions to the government and she's burdened by a debt she can never repay. She feels lonely because most of her family died due to a rare genetic disease. Being a silent witness of her family's struggles with the incompetent medical cartel, she woke up to the notion that the world she lives in is one big lie, and now she's struggling with reality. Gratitude is at the bottom of the daily emotions she goes through. The third person is a man who fell asleep behind the wheel and got himself and his family into an accident that killed his wife and one of his sons. He is now partially paralyzed and has a long and painful way to go, not knowing if he'll ever recover both physically and mentally. There's very little he could be thankful for. These are 3 real-life examples, and I'll talk about them again in a moment, but for now, I want you to know that I used them here to show you our typical struggles with gratitude. Before I move on to tell you about this incredibly important aspect of our lives, what I learned about it on my psychedelic trips, why we so desperately need it, and how we can activate it in ourselves, I'll talk for a moment about you. Because we have a relationship. A gratitude/business relationship. You see, the videos here in 4 years have been watched by between 5 and 6 million people. Maybe a little bit less, but also maybe a little bit more. It's difficult to keep track of these numbers on social media. But what I can keep track of is the exact figure of people who decided to express their gratitude for what I'm offering here. This video is actually dedicated to everyone who continuously support or donate financially to this channel. You need to understand that you're listening to my voice now after 4 years, despite constant censorship and canceling by the social media giants, thanks to a handful of generous superheroes. It's the only reason why I can afford writing these videos while working for this community for most of my day. In 4 years and millions of views, there is less than 3,000 people who supported me on my journey of creating 170 videos. This means only 0.05% is willing to help me continue doing what I'm doing. Don't get me wrong, as I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad here. People's financial situation and their spendings is none of my business. But what always baffled me is this tiny fraction of viewers who are willing to reward someone for giving them free, life-changing tutorials. Only 1 in 5,000 viewers is willing to do it. I'm talking about this because we owe so much to this fraction of incredibly grateful, thoughtful, and humble people here. For 4 years, I've been wondering, why is it so? Why this microscopic number of people who are willing to help me continue grow and help others, despite me asking for a small donation twice in every video, and being as transparent as possible and telling you that this is my only job. It is important for me to understand this gratitude paradox because this seems to be a microcosm of our society. The way it works on this channel is exactly how society behaves in terms of being grateful. One might say that it is the content that is to blame. It's not interesting enough, maybe. Well, I know it is not true because I get thousands of your messages where I read every day how revolutionary and important these videos are to you. Is it maybe that people have no money? I'm not asking for much, and I'm happy with any amount, and I do know the financial situation of this community because you tell me about it all the time. Many of you really don't have money, but would you believe me if I told you that many generous supporters here are homeless and live in their cars? Maybe because you need something in return? Well, I offer consultations, meetups, and merchandise. I thought that maybe it's because many don't have time to understand how these donation mechanisms work. That's also not the case because I made it incredibly easy for anyone to donate using a long list of available methods. Nobody on social media has a donation system as elaborate as 434. There's a dedicated website that lists all of them. I even made a video explaining myself when and how I'm going to start financing the existence of this community. It's a complex psychological mechanism that I've been observing for 4 years, and thanks to my mushroom friends, I was finally able to understand it. Why are we so ungrateful? It turns out there are several reasons for that. The first one is taking things for granted. Look around yourself. Do you have a roof over your head? Do you have food in your fridge? Some spare cash? Do you live in a peaceful environment? You do? Why? Where does it say that it is a part of the package you get when you come here? These are all the things you should appreciate and be grateful for, and if you don't, that's a lesson for you right there. Next, look at the people in your life. There must be plenty of examples of those who helped you throughout your life and those who are helping you to this day. How often do you tell these people how much you appreciate them? Probably not that often. Actually, we don't even think about how much they mean to us until we have to say goodbye to them at their funeral. Let's talk for a moment about your liver. When was the last time you thought how amazing this organ is? If someone asked you to sell it, what would be the price? When was the last time you acknowledged how blessed you are for not having to look for a donor? What about this device that you're using now? Did you think how many people and how much effort it took to actually get to the place where we can communicate using them? I bet you never thought of that. Better yet, we demonize this incredible technology that allows us so much and gave our lives a completely new meaning. And this is another reason. We have a strongly developed sense of entitlement because for some bizarre reason we believe that life owes us things and that we are supposed to get everything for free, and then we get used to it quickly and then behave like we're supposed to get more. It is natural for people to forget to be grateful. Gratitude is not taught anywhere. Your life experiences and your upbringing condition you to be like that. Appreciation ends quickly because of greed. We always want more. Paraplegics and millionaire lottery winners are statistically equally happy after 6 months from their life-changing event. We go back to the baseline really fast. Our happiness is based on the category of existence we're in and the relative comparison to others in the same situation. That is why we never appreciate what we have and always want more, looking up to the minority who has more, and conveniently ignoring the huge majority that has less. It is so difficult to be grateful because of this narrow perspective. So what do machine elves have to say about our thankless attitude? It appears that there is a whole spectrum of things we take for granted that exists only in this reality. Physical sensations, having a body, emotions, and so on. It was explained to me that, for example, psychedelics are a gift for us that we should be grateful for. Machine Elf said, "Your emotional ability to experience things on mushrooms is an insane gift in life that is bigger than millions in any currency, than being rich or having access to women. What you're experiencing is beyond what most people can access here. You are so incredibly lucky, you have to remember that. It's bigger than winning the lottery. You have something so incredibly valuable." The entities make it clear every time we talk how much there is to be grateful for. Every trip boosts my appreciation and understanding for all that we treat as natural elements of our lives, even though there is no written contract anywhere that would say that all of this should be in our lives. The entities always make me feel like we're a bunch of spoiled brats raised by wealthy parents. The other day I was listening to some music and machine elves, once they saw how it makes me feel, they said, "How are you not grateful for all these people's efforts to make this beautiful music for you to make you happy?" I admit it is something I never thought about. I have gigabytes of music on my drive and I feel like I somehow naturally deserve this incredible sound offering to be in my life. When I was preparing to write this video, it occurred to me how often in our communication they repeat that everything in this life is a gift, and I think nothing proved it as clearly as the last 2 years, when we realized that all these things we take for granted can be taken away from us so easily. Being able to leave your house suddenly had value. Every communication contains at least one message reminding me how everything here is a lesson and how we should respect these opportunities to learn from them. When I complained to machine elves about the first 20 years of my life being filled with amazing experiences and sensations, and the second half of it being troublesome and painful, they said that, as always, I look at everything from the wrong perspective. They made me realize that instead of complaining about that joyful part of my life ending, I should be happy that I had the chance to experience it in the first place. Many people don't have the opportunity to experience anything like that. Some people don't even get access to love. They said, gratitude is the key to everything. The key to unlocking it in your life is positivity. Love is such a great feeling. You experience love and you don't notice how amazing it is. And you don't appreciate how much of it you get. And it's true. In my ignorant understanding, receiving love is something natural that is here in this life waiting for me. One of the biggest shameful awakenings for me was realizing on my first mushroom trip that in the 30 years of my amazing relationship with my brother, not once have I told him how much I appreciate having him in my life. The first thing I did after my mushroom initiation was grabbing the phone and telling him that. And that was just the beginning of years of psychedelic revelations about my ungratefulness. It turned out that I always concentrate on the best version of everything, and it doesn't allow me to appreciate what I already have. When looking at your face in the mirror, do you ever feel grateful for your ancestors' collective efforts that led to you being who you are today? If you're in a relationship, do you appreciate the access to regular sex, something that is apparently a unique, precious life gift sought after not only by humans? Have you ever thought how incredible is the gift of imagination that allows you to create any world for yourself at will? Or how gratitude allows you to move the memories from your brain to your heart? All of these are amazing discoveries I made thanks to the mushroom revelations. Of course, both you and me have an incredible reason to be grateful. 434 lessons being in our lives. They bring out love, joy, and hope in us like nothing else. For me, you represent an incredible gift of access to thousands of wonderful, like-minded travelers through this realm others can only dream of. I can't describe how important you are to me. For you, the life-changing lessons and insight offered to us from the outer dimension give you the opportunity to accelerate you on your journey of development and self-discovery. If you understand the value of the 434 teachings, you have an enormous reason to be grateful, as the machine of knowledge is a firewall, a protector, and a remedy to transform all your fears. This life manual offered by them is an incredible life bonus. I was told that everyone wants to feel appreciated. Everyone wants to hear that who they are and what they do is good. You're adding emotional taint to everything before it happens. So why wouldn't we want to transform our lives using this free and effortless superpower we all have? You can reset your life and start fresh by understanding how this mechanism works. So let me tell you what the psychedelic insight allowed me to learn about the value of gratitude in life, and I will start from the benefits of a grateful mindset, analyzing first the simple earthly perspective. Gratitude is not a straightforward reaction to acknowledging a reception of a gift, but a mechanism that allows you to escape the pretentious and ignorant human attitude of taking things for granted. It's the most life-transforming emotion you can have. It's more than an emotion. It's a powerful attitude. If there's only one affirmation that you were to apply to your daily resolutions, it would be that of gratitude, and it would be enough to change your life forever. Gratitude is an incredible transformation tool, as it turns confusion and chaos into order and harmony, misfortune into lessons, and scarcity into abundance. It's not happiness that makes you grateful, but it's the other way around. Gratitude fosters happiness. It has been scientifically proven that thankful thoughts lower stress and aggression, a wonderful relaxing remedy for a messy life. Also, anxiety ends where gratitude begins. It's an amazingly simple method to end most of your emotional struggles. Gratitude is the gateway to true forgiveness, as once you appreciate the experience you've been through, that's when you accept and move on. Do not ruin the wealth of what you have now by being ungrateful for the things that are not yet in your possession. That's not smart. Appreciating that which you already have is the key to the riches of this world. Once you start counting all your blessings, you'll have no time to concentrate on that which you don't have, as the easiest path to perpetual misery is putting your attention on what you believe you're entitled to have in your life. Look around and see how much of what your life is enriched by is due to the work and sacrifices of those who worked here before you and those who do it now. Gratitude is the foundation of the understanding that we all live here in the service to each other. And one of the simplest and most powerful things that we can do to make our lives easier is being grateful. Appreciation is the legal tender that everyone accepts. That's an amazing way to learn how to respect others. Gratitude develops altruism, and it is effectively an empowering tool to succeed in this reality, as your achievements are always based on human relationship. Gratitude is a self-identifying business card for high-quality personalities in this world. Pay attention to these people, as the grateful attitude is exactly the opposite of an emotionally poor or negative mentality. That's how you identify greatness. Appreciativeness is expressed by the intelligent and noble ones. When you deal with a grateful person, you know that they're empathetic and have their heart in the right place. These people are precious, as they make others feel better about themselves, and they bring joy into any environment. These are the like-minded people you want in your life. Looking at the benefits of gratitude from a metaphysical perspective, it will allow you to understand that the access to the true nature of this earthly existence can be only gained through an appreciative mindset. You take only one thing with you back to the spirit world: your balance sheet of good deeds and all that you've done for others. Everything else stays here, and because you don't know the length of your life you chose for yourself and never know which will be the last day of your journey, ask yourself, when is the right time for gratitude? Because if not today, then when exactly? Gratitude makes you more humane. It gets you closer to mastering this physical existence of a human, which is a requirement on your journey of progression towards higher, non-physical form in the spirit world. The very definition of being alive is being grateful. It's difficult to live a happy life always being miserable because of what's missing. That's rather a definition of self-imposed inner slavery. It's all about accepting your path, as it leads to realization of enough. The understanding that everything that is necessary for you on your journey at this given moment is already here. And if you feel like you need more, keep in mind that according to the law of attraction, the more you offer, the more life offers back to you. It works, trust me, I tried it. And that's how you discover the divine. When you appreciate all the gifts that you receive, you'll eventually see higher power in everything around you. So how to activate the mindset of constant appreciation? It is a skill like any other based on a change in attitude and in altering your behavior. Every day you should thank for what you had, what you have now, and all the wonderful things that will come your way tomorrow. Use gratitude if you want to understand and solve the mysteries of your past, if you want to fill your present moment with peace, and get excited about your future. Use it if you want to make sense out of your life. You have about 1,000 minutes to your disposal today. It takes only one to think about everything that you're grateful for. 1,000th of your time to change your day. That's how little is necessary. Every night before you fall asleep, try to list all that you received and all that you've accomplished. You'll be amazed how abundant in gifts your days are. You also realize that your life is filled with these frequent rewards and only few and occasional misfortunes. Gratitude is about good memory, and it is closely related to the appreciation of the present moment. Your goal is to develop an attitude of endless and continuous recognition, and you can achieve it by remembering about appreciating life continuously. It should be easy once you realize that everything that happened took place to help you with your development. The way to happiness is developing the tools to help you notice everything that should be appreciated. Remember that life is a gift from the spirit world, and it's a very precious one, as apparently it's very difficult to get a placement slot in this reality. Every time you wake up, think how lucky you are that you have this valuable opportunity to experience the human existence. And now going back to our lost businessman, the woman with the massive debt, and the father who accidentally killed his family. All three of them have a life filled with despair. Yet the family man would do anything to be in the position of the woman with the debt. The woman with the debt would do everything in her power to be in the position of the businessman. And the businessman would give anything to never end up in a situation like the father and the woman. All three of them believe there is nothing to be grateful for in their lives. All of them look at their existence from a perspective where things should be better, but they never consider how things can be worse. If you think that the man who got his family killed definitely has no reasons to be grateful, let me tell you the rest of his story. Right as he got catapulted out of his car, he had a near-death experience in which his already deceased wife came to him to remind him that the earthly contract they had was that she will leave him so that he can train himself in raising their second son without her, and that this was their training plan all along. So the next time when you feel like there is nothing to be grateful for, keep in mind that despite you not remembering this, you're here for a very important reason, and that you should be thankful for having this opportunity. Love 434. If you wish to start your lessons in gratitude, join the small group of these superheroes who make all of this possible and sponsor this channel or schedule a donation-funded chat. All links in the video description. Thank you for everyone's years of support. I'm still here only because of you.
Don't forget to subscribe and follow. Like this video and share it with everyone you care about. For merchandise, go to shop.b434.com. Leave your email address at news.b434.com. Visit the website of the artist and the musician I featured here. For more info or contact, visit b434.com and join 434's social media on YouTube, Facebook, BitChute, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Reddit, Discord, Telegram, VK, TikTok, Tumblr, LinkedIn, Dailymotion, and a few other ones you can see on the screen now. All links in the video description and at b434.com.